Good day, guys, and welcome to our first ever online learning. And today, we are gonna talk about vocabulary. Okay, so the lesson for today will be in Unit 5 in our Family and Friends 6. And the topic of our lesson for today is the greatest inventions, and we're gonna talk about the vocabulary in that particular unit. Okay, so in this lesson, we're gonna be needing some things, and I hope you will be able to provide it. So the things that we're gonna be needing is, of course, our writing material, pencil or pen will do. We need to have our family and friends student book for reference, of course, and we need to have our family and friends workbook for our exercise later on after this lesson. Also, it will be better if we have our own dictionary for our benefit, because in the dictionary we can see and search also some words that we are gonna be learning for today. Okay, so in this lesson, the things that we are gonna be doing is we are gonna be defining the words that we're gonna learn. Of course, we can see in this PowerPoint that we will have notes and example sentences in it. Okay? Not only that, we are going to have an action step, if you will, or you can call it an exercise at the end of the lesson. That's why we need to have our family and friends workbook. Okay, so the words that we are going to discuss for today is related to our topic, of course, and we're gonna talk about verbs, the words that can be used as verbs. Okay, so statement number 1, we will be talking about build, the word build, design, of course, discover, okay, and invent. Some of these words can be used as nouns, can be used as a noun. However, we are going to use these words as a verb in context, as verbs in context. Okay, so let's start. Let's discuss about the 4 words. Okay, as you can see here in the PowerPoint, we have the word build, we have the word design, we have the word discover and invent. So we're going to start with the word build. Okay, build. The definition of the word build is to make something by putting pieces together. To make something by putting pieces together. That means having small pieces or having different kinds of materials with you, whether it be thought or material, you can use it to build something, or you can put it together, and what you're doing is you're building something. You're putting pieces together. Some example sentences are this: they are going to build a new school in our town. They are going to build a new school in our town. Okay, the word in this sentence has been used in a context, in a type of context that is a verb. Okay, sentence number 2. Alex decided to build a room upstairs. Alex decided to build a room upstairs. Okay, next, the word design. Okay, there are common misconceptions about the word design, especially to those that have very little learning when it comes to the vocabulary. We can say design as a drawing, but also the word design can be used when it comes to thought process, or like designing a room. or designing the report, something like that. Okay, so the definition of the word design is to draw or make your idea for how something will be made, Okay, the example sentences that we're going to be using is: scientists want to design a car that is good for the environment. Scientists want to design a car that's good for the environment. Okay, so in this context, people will want to design something that is good for the environment, and it is a car. Of course, in designing something like this, you have to put it on a paper. You can draw it and write notes with it. That's the first meaning of it. Our second example is this: Tom will spend the whole night tomorrow to design the website. Okay, so you can see in this context that the man by the name of Tom, he will be designing a website, but designing a website you don't have to draw on a paper, but rather you have to put your thought into it and executing it in order for you to design a website. Same with this context. Okay, so this is the word design. So we have the word build and we have the word design. Our next word is discover. When we say discover, that means finding something. Okay, and it doesn't have to be that you're the first one to find it, but rather you're the first one who claim to find it. Okay, we're gonna see that in our example sentences. The definition of the word discover is to be the first person to find a place or thing. Now, this is the first meaning. However, we're gonna use the word discover in different contexts. So, example sentence number 1: I'd love to discover a new island in the ocean. Okay, so in this context, the person wants to discover a new island in the ocean. That meaning that he or she wants to discover a new island that hasn't been found by anyone, and that person wants to be the one to find it. This is the first meaning of the word discover. However, on the second example sentence that we're gonna have is this: Christopher Columbus discovered the land of America in 1492. Now, in this sentence, if we're gonna look at here in this sentence in context, Christopher Columbus discovered the land of America in 1492. He declared he discovered it. However, there were people there when he discovered that land. That means he's not the first person who discovered it. He's not the first person who was able to find that land, but rather he's the first person that declared that he found that land. Okay, America in 1492. So we have build, design, discover, and also we have invent. The definition of the word invent is to be the first person to make a new type of thing. To be the first person to make a new type of thing. Okay, there are different kinds of invention in this world. We have telephone, we have computer. These are inventions. We have cars, and we have, if you will, we have air conditioner, fans, and television sets. Okay? The example sentences that we have is this: let's invent a new ice cream flavor. Okay, so in this context, you can see that no one has invented a particular flavor, and they want to find what flavor that is, and they want to invent a new ice cream flavor. That means no one hasn't invented that new ice cream flavor. Okay, sentence number 2. The Wright brothers invented the aircraft. In this context, you can see that the brothers have decided, the brothers, they were the ones that invented the aircraft. Talking about planes, okay? An aircraft is a vehicle, type of vehicle, some like airplanes, something like that. So the word invent is used to talk about or to make something, to be the first person to make something. Okay. Okay, so these are the 4 words that we had in our vocabulary. We have build, design, discover, and invent. Okay, so in our exercise, we have 2 different kinds of exercise. And first, we have in our student book, I want you to answer page 49, exercise number 2. That's fill in the blanks. I want you to answer items number 2 to 8. Items number 2 to 8. Okay? So, after you're doing that, I want you also to take a time, sit down, and answer page 45 in your workbook. Exercise number 1, I want you to read it and answer it very carefully. Okay? So I want you to read it and answer it. Okay, so that will be all. If you have questions, just contact me in my messenger.